what we do and what you see, so I suppose that just can't be helped.
Not really. Well, thank you guys for coming out. I know a lot of you had other options to do tonight.
Like actually being at MAGFest already. I'm sorry that we're not there quite yet. I wish I could have said that we could be there already, but we're not.
We'll be there tomorrow night.
Very late tomorrow night.
Very late tomorrow night.
Like the end of the night tomorrow night, like going into the next day, into Friday. But that's cool. It's cool. Everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna be just...
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. So I'm glad you guys are here, even though it's very last minute, even though it is the first of the year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So let's get right to the point. This broadcast is about the MAGFest NERF War. So we want to give you first all the information that we can. Like, you should have already been able to read up on it, but in case you didn't, we want to talk about it right now because we think it's really important to make sure everybody has all the information necessary. For starters, we've got it set for Saturday
at 1 p.m.
At 1 p.m. And the location is where it's been the last 2 years. It's in that small stretch of green with a little bit of sidewalking right outside what used to be registration. That's not the registration.
The Maryland Ballroom.
The Maryland Ballroom. So it really nothing has changed. We really wanted there to be a change in location. And the reason why there is not a change in location now is that MAGFest staff notified me that that was not going to happen because, I mean, maybe some of you are there already and you can clarify this for me. The big space of green, kind of closer to the docks area, is now, like, covered in ice, like man-made ice, for something that the Gaylord is doing outside, so I guess that wasn't going to happen unless you guys wanted to run around on the ice, and I don't think that was going to be very good for Nerf warring.
Probably not.
As it is, and we got asked about this, there's supposedly going to be snow on Friday, late Friday evening, and it'll make, of course, Saturday very, very cold. And we've been asked whether or not that's going to change anything. Currently, no.
Far as we know, come sleet or snow, we will still be out there shooting each other with these.
I mean, it could be that the snow could get way wicked out of hand, and we'll direct you guys to the Facebook event page, or we'll tweet or something, and we'll notify you of any changes, but supposedly it won't be snowing on Saturday. There might be some snow on the ground from Friday night going into Saturday morning.
I'm gonna go ahead and link to the
yeah, go ahead and
page.
link to yeah, Josh should have already, by the time you guys see it in all of its delay, he should have already linked you to the Facebook event page. In fact, there on the Facebook event page, if you haven't already done so, you can RSVP there and tell us that you're coming, which actually is really going to help us out, because we're going to create a list so that you guys can just really easily check in. It helps us to know how many people are going to show up, because as it is, I am really disappointed that we didn't get to move from one location to another, because from year 1 to year 2, there was well more than double the amount of people who showed up.
It quadrupled, to be honest.
Because I have to be honest with you guys, the first year, 2 years ago now, was not really intended to be an event. It was like, you know what would be fun? If our friends all came and we shot Nerf guns at each other, that'd be great. And then it turned out like everybody knew about it. And then it was really fun, and then everyone's like, you're gonna do this again next year, right? And I was like, people want us to do it, okay, that's awesome.
Let's go ahead. And then, I think last year we had a sign-up page too,
Last year we had RSVPs also.
And that only went as far as about 30 people RSVPing, and
No, it was more than 30, but it was still like 100 people showed up who checked in, and that wasn't counting stragglers afterward. It wasn't counting people just standing on the...
Bystanders, just taking pictures and video. Like, that's huge increases in volume of people.
So I have to be honest, if things keep increasing like this, I don't really know where we're gonna put all of you guys. I really have to be honest with you, I really don't know. It's going to be very difficult. But if everybody can all just be cool, like you have, everybody's been really cool these last 2 years and has paid attention when somebody in authority has said, hey, this is the next thing that needs to get done. So that having been said, we do want to go over some of the rules that,
right.
Again, you could have read all of this on the event page, but just to go over them with you, and in case you have any questions, you can go ahead and throw them out and we'll answer them for you live here.
First and foremost is that the play area is still in the green patches from the end of the sidewalk to right there in the little corner. That is the area of play. Off to the sides, that's where people are going to stand if you're just filming. We request that people don't get all up in the action if they don't have a gun on them, because frankly there's going to be a lot of people running around, darts flying everywhere. We want to try and keep it as safe as possible for spectators.
Right, of course. Also, it's important to be mentioned that the last 2 years, everyone was just like, yeah, we're bringing all these guns, and we've got this kind of community pile. If you didn't bring a gun, then pick one up here. It's too big to do that anymore, which is why this year it's bring your own gun. This really isn't to be stingy. It's just, it's kind of out of hand. It gets out of control.
And we had somewhat of an issue of certain guns and pieces of other people's guns walking off last year.
And some keys.
So just to be on the safe side and making sure everybody is covered, make sure you bring your own gun. Like, basically, that's kind of admission, is that you brought a gun.
Right. Now, we're being asked also, how long should this run for? We're estimating an hour.
At least.
Like it has been the last 2 years. Depending on attendance, we might push it to 2 hours. Right now, it's a little hard to say. We're expecting at least 100 people like last year.
Right.
And if it stays around that, it'll be an hour. But if it goes like 150 people or more,
then we'll have to extend it out. That way everybody gets a chance to get out on the field.
Exactly. Was there something else you wanted to go over? I think you were starting to say something, and now I think I walked all over you.
No, I can't even remember now.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Now, the thing about it is, like we said, bring your own gun. If you want to bring extra guns for other people to use, that's okay, but that's on you.
Yeah, at that point, we have to admit we won't be responsible for other individuals' guns. I'm sorry, I wish we could take responsibility, but we just can't.
Maybe in the future, once we get a little bit more organized, because...
and a bigger space, too.
Because you have to take into account, this is still an unofficial event, and we're really the ones trying to keep it together, so...
Yeah, I've been reaching out to MAGFest, even knowing that we're not officially on the event schedule. So really, they have nothing to do with us, and we have nothing to do with them, but we communicate with each other to try and keep things in line and keep things safe. That having been said, we really want to stick with Nerf weapons if possible, but it doesn't have to be Nerf weapons. Like, we're just now being asked, are there any guns that aren't allowed?
For certain, I know a lot of people like to do this, but for the sake of fairness and safety, do not bring modded guns, by which I mean where you've taken out the air restrictors,
or springs,
and made them more powerful. We'd like to keep this as fair of a fight as possible.
I mean, you can do paint jobs. People do paint jobs.
No, I'm doing my own paint jobs too. I try to do that, if only to make sure I can tell which gun is mine.
We'd recommend kind of leaving any orange blaze tips. That's really
exposed,
leaving them exposed and unpainted, just for the sake of, you know, in case a hotel attendee is like, hey, what is that? We really want to work with the hotel as much as possible.
I'll bring up an example right now. Some of you, I know we haven't gotten to a video on that, but some people may be using the current zombie line that Nerf has released, and this zombie line looks way more like actual weapons than previous ones. I'm holding right here the Side Strike.
And I've already packed up my shotgun, but if you've seen their shotgun, the specific name of it is the
Sledgefire. Now the thing about it is, this gun looks most out of any other Nerf gun like a real gun. Now obviously it's got a bright green paint job, so as you can see, it's a toy. If you mod this thing a dark color, somebody might get mistake.
Paint.
I mean, sorry, my bad. I make that mistake since we just brought up modding. If you paint this a dark color, somebody might not be able to tell the difference, which is why you at least want to keep this orange tip exposed. That way, you know, for safety's sake, people know, oh, okay, that's just a toy.
Right, right.
And since we kind of brought it up, when you're making your way out to the playing field, do not, I repeat, do not just go around brandishing your guns so as con security stops you and possibly prohibits you from taking part.
In fact, I'd even say try not to have your guns loaded until you get to the field with darts. If at any point any member of either MAGFest staff or the hotel staff comes up to you and asks you questions about your weapon, just do whatever they say. Don't be argumentative with them. If for some reason somebody decides this thing isn't gonna happen, that's fine. The last thing we want to do is, like, have something bad weigh on MAGFest's heads.
Right.
Because, you know, they've been going for 12 years, that we don't want to ruin everything for everybody. If they tell you to take a gun back up to your room or something, in the last 2 years we've never had that happen. But if they were to tell you to take it back up to your room and not walk around with it, just do it. I really hate for that to have to happen, but for safety's sake. Let's see.
Also, as well, we definitely advise bring your own stash of ammo. We still do appreciate extra ammo being brought because a lot of people are going to need to reload on site.
We'll still have an ammo station. Just like the last 2 years, there's going to be a place where, like, if you run out of ammo, you go and you run to the ammo station and you reload. And also, at the end of every round, everyone's going to be required, everyone who participated will be required to go run around and pick up the ammo, reload your guns, or take it back to the ammo station. And then we'll start the next round. So, you can feel free to bring as much ammo as you want, and if you want that to be community, dump it in the ammo station, that's fine. I think the only question then comes up of, do you care to keep track of your own darts? Because you have to pretty much figure darts will likely get lost in a Nerf war. It just sort of happens. It's just sad, but...
Just as an example, for some people using, like I said, the zombie line or even the new Rebel line, they've got very specific, special, you know, for the zombie line green darts or the nicely ornamented girly darts for the Rebel line. If you don't want those getting lost, just go to Walmart, go to Target, and pick up a pack of regular darts and fill up with those. That way you don't even have to worry about those getting lost. That would just probably be easier on everybody.
Some people in the past have been known to put their initials on their darts. I'd in fact highly suggest putting your initials on your weapon if you're not afraid to mess it up. Write it in nice permanent ink.
Or just even get a piece of masking tape and just put it on the side, put your name real quick, just so we're sure, just in case any guns get dropped, that, okay, this belongs to so-and-so. That also will lead us into melee weapons.
Read a little bit.
Okay, we'll take a question.
Well, it's kind of a question. There's a suggestion made for the Facebook event page. Wouldn't it be helpful to be able to register yourself as an attendee as well as your weaponry? That would be fantastic. I don't really know how we would go about doing that. We at least have the RSVP. I guess I'm limited by the Facebook event build.
The easiest thing you can do is that for anybody in here, and I guess we'll go ahead and make this announcement there on the page, if you have already RSVP'd, just comment on the page what you're bringing. Just simple as that, and then we can trace it back to you. That way we can at least have that on the page to keep track.
And if something gets lost, at least we can refer back to, like, hey, we found this particular blaster, who does it belong to?
Like, okay, we found a stock yellow Maverick, who's missing one, who registered with one.
Yeah, that would be nice if at least... I mean, this is really difficult because I foresee the page just being filled up with, I'm bringing this weapon, I'm bringing this... And, like, it might be difficult to trudge through, but if we have to trudge through it because somebody lost something, then we'll do it.
Right.
You were about to bring up melee weapons.
Now, again, we encourage the use of Nerf brand weapons. I know Buzzbee has some out there that they just put out for fairly cheap. Those are allowable.
Those are okay. there are people who, in the past, like specifically last year, who brought their own LARP weapons. That's alright, although I have to admit it makes me really nervous and I would prefer that you not do that. But we will have people there who, if you end up bringing LARP weapons, somebody's going to be manhandling your LARP weapon to make sure that it's not going to hurt somebody, because at least NERF follows, like, toy regulation standards.
Right, safety guidelines for that.
Which is why, typically, you don't end up hurting anybody. I just would really prefer NERF only, but I guess I can't really tell people no to LARP weapons.
Okay, now as far as getting started, showing up to the event, we recommend that since this starts at 1, try showing up at least half an hour ahead of time. If not an hour, we will probably be there an hour ahead of time.
Yeah, we'll probably be there at noon, so if you want to get there that early, that's fine. Also realize, and this was only slightly an issue in previous years, that I do like talking to people who know who I am and everything. That is really fun for me. It's just I'm not going to have a lot of time to talk to everybody individually during that hour that we are prepping for the NERF War. So, I'll gladly talk to anybody for however long it takes after the war is over. But I'm only going to have so much time to interact while we're actually building this up.
And then somebody asked, what about that Captain America disc launch shield thingy? If it's the one that they just put out for the Avengers that shoots the little thin foam discs, that's a perfectly fine weapon.
Is it released by Hasbro?
It's released by Hasbro, so the
okay,
foam
so it's
is fine.
basically Nerf.
It's not stock ammo, but the darts themselves, if you're just using it as a blaster, that's fine.
Because most of the Avengers stuff, like my hammer here, Thor's Mjolnir.
Yes, this right here is perfectly fine foam. You can use something like this.
Because this is Nerf. Because, really, all the Avengers stuff is released by Hasbro. Therefore, they're all kind of Nerf. Basically, if you see Hasbro on it, you can pretty much feel... Well, you can rest assured that you can use it.
But really what we're saying is, as a blaster, it's fine, not as a weapon. We would rather use foam on foam, not foam on plastic, because somebody could get hurt by plastic.
On top of that, realize as we're talking about melee weapons, too, there will never be a round where guns and melee weapons happen at the same time.
No,
melee weapons
that will
only ever go against melee weapons. There might only be, like, 2 rounds for melee.
Depending on, who brings what.
Right.
But primarily the focus here is on guns.
Right. It's just, I love melee wars, but when you consider the potential hazards, and because it's taking place during a convention at a really nice hotel, we want to be really, really careful about how we go about specifically melee weapons.
We want to keep risk to a minimum.
Mm-hmm.
So having said that, let's try and keep it within those parameters.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, if you do show up early, it would be helpful. You don't have to, but we are looking for a couple of volunteers to help us keep people in line, keep things going smoothly, telling people, okay, just stand over here for a second, just directing people, this is where you sign in, this is where you line up, this is where you can drop your ammo off.
To the best of my knowledge, we are going to have a table where that's going to be the first place you go, and if you did already RSVP, you're just going to check your name off. And then if you didn't already RSVP on Facebook, you can just write your name there and then kind of move along to the sidelines until we say, alright, we're ready to start, now get in a line, and we'll separate you into teams, yada yada yada.
Right. After that, dress. How do you want to show up? Or how we would hope you would want to show up to this,
Well, especially now that we know that there's going to be snow, I especially encourage you to dress warmly, and think about your shoes. I'm going to have to rethink my shoes because I need not cloth shoes.
Right. Basically, keep 2 things in mind. 1, it's going to be cold. 2, you want to be able to move. I know a lot of people in the first year and 1 or 2 last year like to just show up on the field in whatever they're wearing, and sometimes that's,
sometimes in cosplay, yeah.
Right. Realize that if you're playing in the snow, that's going to get really wet and icky, especially that plus sweat.
Your 8th Doctor cosplay will not survive this weather.
No. So we don't want anybody getting any cosplay ruined or clothes you really like ruined. Definitely wear something warm, something you can move in. If you like to wear something, I guess I'll use the term ornamental, that's fine.
Just realize you're going into battle.
Right.
And as much as it's toy battles, it has the potential to get damaged.
Go
in knowing that, and that's all I can ask of you.
I will make the suggestion of, if you've got sunglasses, wear those. Ones you don't mind getting, a little roughed up. Or
shoot, where's my Nerf goggles?
I don't know where
my
you put
Rebel line Nerf goggles. I'll grab them later.
Maybe a hat. I would also recommend, if you have the chance to get one before you get there, those Iron Man masks that you can get at like Walmart or Target. If you want to cover your face, paint them even if you want. I'd recommend that.
Those, we planned on doing a lot more with masks.
We just ran out of time, honestly.
But that would have been really cool if we just had a whole bunch of masked people running at each other. It would have been protective, and I don't know, it would have kept some cold out, maybe.
A little bit. But yes, keep those things in mind. Also, hydrate. Drink some water before you get out there. You will get sweaty. We don't want anybody passing out on us.
It's cold, but you're going to be moving.
Right.
So, I kept myself in like 3 jackets and 2 scarves. And, I was cold, but after all the running around, I just needed to... Oh my god. It was awful.
Right. I guess after that, now we'll go into the different types of games that we'll be doing out there. First off, that we usually start off with, that it gets everybody riled up, is the Standard War. That runs for about 3 to 5 minutes. What that basically is we have usually myself on one side, Kaylin on the other. We've divided everybody up into 2, hopefully equal teams, and then we go at it.
And hopefully, usually if this was like an all-day event, you'd probably go until there's only one person standing on one team, or, one team is completely dead. But since we're leaving it for between 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how much time we have,
right.
I guess, then it's just a matter of how many people are left standing on each team, and the team with the most people left standing will be called the winner. Then everybody's gonna pick up all of their ammo, reload, we'll re-separate the teams, reorganize the teams, and we'll probably do it again. Or we'll move on to another one of our wars.
Which is free-for-all. Free-for-all is the next most popular one, which is we give everybody, hopefully after already having reloaded and whatnot, we give you 30 seconds to position yourself around the field, wherever you want to be, and then you go at it, whoever's next to you. Whoever you want to shoot, if they're right next to you, halfway across the field, just go at it, last man standing wins.
Yeah, hopefully it should just be down to one person left after that.
The other thing we want to try and work in is duels this year. Just simple Old West, reach for it, duels between 2 people. Hopefully not with multiple shotguns, just keep it simple, 1 shot. 1 kill.
Well, if they actually end up hitting each other.
Oh, yeah, that brings up to the rules about going down and getting hit. We're trying to keep it to, I guess it's LARP rules, about if you're hit in the arm, you lose the arm. If you're hit in the chest, you go down.
If you're hitting a limb, the limb is gone and it's not usable. Although we ended up with some pretty amusing things happening last year, like, why Ruler of Time ended up losing both arms. Therefore, he was the last guy standing, but he couldn't shoot anything.
Right.
So I have to be honest, I think we have to think about that one a little bit. But it mostly worked out.
What I will say to that is that if you end up losing both arms, go ahead and have somebody shoot you. Have the person next to you mercy kill you, if only to get you off the field, because really that's not helping anybody.
And again, this year, in the past, we had people just go down and stay down where they are. Considering how many people have already RSVP'd, I don't think that's going to work anymore. If you go down, I think it's best if you move as far off to the side of the field as you possibly can. We're being asked about the duels, if it's 10 paces. I think it should be more like 5 paces because these are Nerf weapons.
Right, given the paces, not paces, given the strength of the guns, we'll keep it to 5 paces.
As far as melee duels, yes, that will be a round separate from regular melee. Well, really, it'll be more like free-for-all melee, and then the last 2 people standing will go into a duel.
If you look on YouTube, most of the videos that came up from last year's Nerf War have an example of how we did it, basically like she just said. All of the melee people go at it, and then the last 2 people left standing duel to the death.
Those especially go by LARP rules. I think that just plain makes sense that melee would equate to normal LARP rules. You take a hit in a limb, and that limb is gone. Definitely once you're tagged in the torso, you're down. You're out for the count. And the other person's the winner.
The other one that we do... and hopefully we'll get to do this maybe more than once, is Mexican Standoff, which basically is everybody gets in a circle, kind of tight-knit, and then just draw on the person next to you, count down, and then see if anyone is left standing after everyone has shot one another. Very quick, that only takes a couple of seconds.
And
but
so we'll probably have to do it several times through several different groups of people. So we'll just count people off, maybe in groups of 10 or so. And just kind of go through one after another after another.
The other thing to bring into account is that when people are leaving the field, don't plow into them. Allow them to exit the field as safely as possible. Again, just want to reiterate, no punching, no kicking, no cold cocking.
I think if you're about to walk off the field because you know you've been hit, hold your weapon in the air as you walk off the field to show, hey, you're out.
Yes.
And then just sit down, maybe, depending on how much snow ends up being on the field.
Yeah, try, and again, this is why we wanted to initially bring in the use of the Iron Man masks. No shooting in the face, no shooting in the head, dick shots to a minimum. Minimum. We know it's going to happen, we just want to keep it to a minimum. I'm sorry, Nash, I'm sorry.
Well, no, don't be sorry. It's for his safety.
Well, yeah, it's for his safety. Again, yes, after every round, make sure to clean up your ammo. Try and keep a count going in, how much ammo you want to come home with.
Uh-huh.
Like we said, there'll more than likely be shot, darts lost and what have you.
So, we apologize for that in advance. To be fair, you should probably expect it.
As far as spectating goes and taking video, we are aware that certain guns have the little iPhone case that you can put to keep your
put on the rail of most modern Nerf guns.
That's fine. That's completely allowable. Again, because of the snow, just be careful what you're bringing.
We'd be glad to see any photos or videos pop up on the event page later.
Yes. Please let us know.
We'll put them on our Black Rim Ops Facebook page as well later, too. We'll make sure that they all get seen by anybody who participated.
We're getting asked, can dick shots with a Nerf gun actually hurt someone? Is that actually a thing? Yes.
Especially with the new darts, the new guns that have come out in the new Mega Dart line. I packed mine already.
No, here's an example. Okay, so your average Nerf dart that most people are going to be using
hold it up close.
Is your standard elite dart. If you guys can see this, you know, this goes in most of your regular weapons. What she's describing now is the new the Mega line that they've just recently launched. This is how big that dart is. Give you a size comparison. This thing can do some damage. The spring in this one is a lot more powerful.
Well, especially in the new large handgun, the Magnus, which, really, I don't think I buried it that far deep in my luggage.
Yeah, if you can show them. Yeah.
This thing...
This thing is a hand cannon.
Just, I don't know if the sound will come through very well, but... Like, do you hear that? That is terrifying.
If somebody gets shot with this thing, we tested this on ourselves.
It left a welt.
It left a welt on my arm. Oh, no, your arm, my chest.
Yeah.
At close enough range, this thing will hurt you.
I didn't actually mean to load it. I just wanted to hear the sound
now it's
again.
loaded. This thing will hurt somebody, And it will be awesome to watch. You just don't want to be the one shot in the dick with it.
Right.
So keep that in mind. See, you guys didn't see that. That bounced off the wall and came back right here next to me.
The far wall.
The far wall and bounced all the way back. You think this is a game? This is real life.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, and to keep in mind, that weapon is perfectly allowable. If you bring it, more power to you, literally. And again, if you want, I would recommend bring a friend with you, if not to participate, if only to watch your stuff. We are not responsible for people's stuff getting lost.
I guess we'll have a place specifically to leave bags and personal belongings, backpacks and stuff. But again, everybody's stuff is going to be all in that area.
Yeah.
So,
honor system, guys, really.
That's all we can really say. Trying to think of anything else that we really need to say right at this moment. But, barring that, now we're just down to taking any other questions that anybody might have.
And we'll give you guys a second to go ahead and catch up to know to ask us a question right now.
But, I'll be right back. You tell me if anybody's got any questions.
Okay. So, yes, we're very happy that you guys have shown so much interest currently on the event page. As of right now, we've got 69 people RSVPing. And then putting that in perspective, like we were bringing up earlier, about 40 people RSVP'd last year, if I'm remembering correctly, and then 100 people plus showed up. So when you keep that in mind, this is dang near 70 people RSVPing. How many more of you guys are going to be out there on Saturday? This thing is going to be huge. So we need you guys as much as possible. Please follow these rules. Please keep in mind with these guidelines, because we want everybody to have fun. We want everybody to have a chance on the field. Hopefully we can get in better contact with MAGFest staff, that perhaps maybe next year we can have a bigger space, because the way this is going with the growth, we will more than likely need that space for the future.
Okay, what did I miss?
Nothing.
Anybody asking anything? No? Okay, apparently not. Wait. Is it okay to bring my Nerf sword through the hotel, or should I find a bigger bag for it? So long as you're not brandishing it around, I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, so long as you're not running through the halls like, I have the power. No. As long as you've got it sheathed or something, that's fine.
There's not really any sheaths for...
How good is Kaylin's accuracy with the scary hand cannon? With the Magnus, you don't even hardly need accuracy. That thing is powerful.
I'm not an accurate shot. I'm not.
But the power behind that thing shoots that dart straighter than most current... I mean, just as an example here, the Fire Strike, this is a pretty straight shooting gun. This is the one you can get for about $10 just about anywhere. And that shoots fairly straight for about, say, 50 feet, give or take.
It's still going to arc a little bit.
Yeah, it's still going to arc a little. The arc on the Magnus is very little over short distances. So if you're within, say, 20, 25 feet, that thing is fairly accurate.
Yeah.
And this coming from somebody who admittedly isn't that accurate, but that's why you've got a lot of guns.
Because I'm going to miss with a lot of those guns.
Yes.
I really don't know where else to take this. No, I'm gonna dance for you.
No, don't. Stop.
Okay, I'm
please.
done.
Yeah, so anybody else got a question?
Maybe we'll give her another 5 minutes or something, and then just give up. Is anybody in the room at MAGFest already right now? I'll wait while this actually broadcasts to you to find out the answer to that question. Okay. This delay really sucks.
A little bit.
This delay really sucks. How about that Baja Blast? I'm out of Baja Blast.
That's funny.
That's not funny.
That's the worst product placement ever.
Now I gotta go get more Baja Blast!
Stop it.
I'm
Please.
Sorry. I'm not gonna say names. Mention yet. Some people are gonna be there tomorrow. And hello from the hello from the future?
Oh, because of the delay.
I know.
I get it.
Yes, I understand. Okay.
I get things.
Okay, clearly no one is watching who is actually at the event now. And if they are, then they are not signed into the chat right now. I really don't know if we should keep dragging this out anymore.
I guess not. So yeah, I guess that covers just about everything. So if you guys are going to head out, please let people know about this. Direct people to the event page over on Facebook. Are we going to be putting this up on YouTube or no?
I think I am going to go ahead and put it up on YouTube here in a few minutes.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and post this up. That way, to you in the future who haven't watched this yet, we're talking to you.
But you're watching it right now.
Right this very second, you there with the glasses.
Some of you without the glasses.
Too. We got nothing else.
Okay, this is getting embarrassing. Alright, thank you for joining us tonight. Wait, do you plan to have a Nerf War at SWAG?
SWAGfest?
At the Southwest Animation and Gaming
Expo.
It's okay. Probably not. There's not really green space for it, and there's not room. We can't do it inside the hotel.
We did ask.
Well, I don't think we would ever try and do it inside of a hotel. I had somebody doing a Florida event sometime in, I want to say it's early summer. It's before our wedding. Who's trying to get us out there to run another Nerf War in Florida, actually, in the middle of the year sometime.
Okay.
I'll have to post more information on that later. It's not confirmed or anything yet, so, I don't know. Yeah, there's supposed to be some more events that we do Nerf Wars here in town in San Antonio. If we can actually wait for the weather to warm up just a little bit. I mean, really, Texas weather isn't that bad for doing Nerf Wars.
Not entirely.
So yeah, there will be more chances to get it done.
And having said that, we'll go ahead and sign off for the night. Hopefully we'll see you guys at MAGFest. Come armed. It's gonna get heavy. Oh yes.
You are so embarrassing sometimes.
I don't care. I'm gonna shoot somebody.
I know. We're gonna shoot lots of people.
We're gonna shoot lots of people.
Alright. Thank you for hanging out with us, you guys. And I hope we'll be seeing a pretty decent hunk of you guys over at MAGFest in a couple days.
Alright, we'll see you guys in a bit.
Alright, bye.